Alright, what's going on, guys? Working on 3.1 V6 for the 91 Pontiac Firebird for the exhaust manifold gaskets and valve cover gaskets. I haven't done the valve cover gaskets yet because I still got to pull the intake off. I got to pull the breather here, whatever, off. I've got to done pull the EGR and stuff off. Got to pull the fuel rails out and got all this stuff pretty much out of the way because I was going to just go ahead and do this side first since it's more pain in the butt. Took the exhaust manifold off and I got everything pretty much at the top. I didn't have to go to the bottom too much, but on this side of the manifold, which I've got it inside the house, but at the very top of that manifold, it looks like either rust has chewed up on it and possibly part of the exhaust leak that has caused it to be chewed up. I mean, there's a little bit more of a, there's basically an indention there, you know, completely shearing off the whole entire hole. So basically just imagine, so if you can see that hole at top, just imagine half that hole being gone. So that's what it looks like on the exhaust manifold in there. So I'll probably be getting one here in the next week or so eventually and get that done. And I noticed there was a couple bolts that looked like they was original, and there was a couple bolts that does not look like the original bolts at all. And as y'all can see, I've got everything in bags. Okay, and it's, matter of fact, it's that bolt right there, bottom left exhaust manifold. If y'all can see that, I don't know if y'all can see that too good, but okay, there you go. I don't think that's one of the original bolts. It might be, I don't know. I don't think it is, because if it was, it would look more something like that. You know, so one thing is, I always got everything labeled so I don't lose anything, and everything is pretty much kept in bags. I mean, I go to the full extent, man. I mean, so I don't lose nothing. I don't lose any bolts, coil. I got a coil in there. I've got the smog pump, the pulley on it. I've got that in the bags. So that way I don't lose nothing. That way I don't have bolts and nuts laying everywhere over the car and getting a chance of losing stuff. But let's see on the CGR. If y'all see that, they're saying that there's not supposed to be a gasket there. When I took it off, there wasn't no gasket. And when I was looking on a couple 3rd gen forums online, that they're saying that it's not listing a gasket for this car. And when I looked it up, it's saying that the gasket is not that the gasket will not fit for this car. Well, it's a EGR exhaust gasket, 70795 if I'm not mistaken is the part number. I could be wrong, but I think that is the part number. So when I looked at it, it looked like the exact same size, same shape and everything. So I'm like, okay, well, that's got to fit there. There's got to be a gasket there. I mean, there ain't no way that there cannot be no gasket in that, because then that'll cause a leak, or you'd think. So I'm gonna put a gasket there anyway. I've got one ordered from AutoZone, and I'll be picking that up today. I got that bolt out, but this other bolt got stuck in the exhaust manifold and sheared off. And I was blasting it with WD-40, letting it, you know, soak overnight, coming over here, micro turning it, soaking it again, micro turn it more, and eventually it finally just sheared the hell off. So I'll probably be finding a bolt to fit in there once I get everything put back. And I may just go ahead and replace this gasket right here. It needs it, possibly. It's all kind of rusted out. This gasket here looks, let me get right here. That gasket there looks pretty new. Somebody's replaced that gasket once before possibly, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace it anyway. I've got a new gasket for that. I've got new intake gaskets, valve cover gaskets, exhaust manifold gaskets, you know, so all that work is going to be done soon on this vehicle. So this is on the 3.1 V6. This is not on the 2.8, which the 2.8s are similar motors. I mean, they're set up similar. So there's a guy on YouTube that, you know, I guess he's rebuilding the motor or whatever. He's got the 2.8 and showing on how to put the intake and all that stuff back on. So that video is pretty helpful to me, because now I kind of pretty much now know what I'm doing, because looking in the book for this car is like a needle in a haystack, and it don't tell you exactly everything, and it don't tell you exactly on how to do stuff on it. So I'm having to play everything by ear like usual. Now this side ain't been replaced yet. I'll be doing that pretty soon and getting the valve covers on this side done too. And that way, new gaskets, and be ready to roll, and possibly a new intake, exhaust manifold here shortly. So all that'll be done, and I won't have no more exhaust leaks, hopefully. But that's it, and that's how she's sitting right now. So it sucks, because I was hoping to really get some of this done today for the most part, and so that's it. Just kind of showing y'all on what kind of stuff that I've already got accomplished as is today on this, and showing y'all that there is possibly a gasket that goes on the EGR, and give or take. So, but it's been a booger bear on this side. It really has. I mean, got all this stuff in the way, but for the most part, is it really the most difficult thing that I've worked on? No, not really, because that Sebring over there was I'd rather damn set fire to that sumbitch. I'd rather set gasoline to it and set the damn thing on fire. Mopar. This here's a lot more easier to work on. Completely a lot easier to work on. So like I told my fiance that, you know, I rebuilt the motor in my truck that's sitting right over there. I rebuilt it. You know, I basically damn near rebuilt the motor in the Sebring, and rebuilt almost the whole motor in my Honda Civic when I had it, and now this car and many other vehicles that I've worked on and helping other people. But this really ain't the far worst that I've worked on. I mean, like I said, it was a booger bear trying to get down here and trying to get things moved around and get things out of the way so I can get to what I need to get to. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna call this video short, so that's it for this. See y'all later. I'll probably be making another video or something on this, just kind of keep y'all updated, you know, on what's going on with it. So see y'all later, guys.